Ooh, phone home, Elliot.
What's going on, everybody? Kenan here, and it's another Ask Kamp Kenan question day. I was inundated with questions about baby sulcata tortoises, so obviously we're going to start talking about baby sulcata tortoises. We've got a couple questions we're going to answer, and I hope you guys find this video useful. These are some fresh babies. They just hatched out about 2 weeks ago. These little guys are definitely ready to go to new homes. But as always, there's a lot you guys need to know when dealing with little baby tortoises. Like, for example, this guy likes to climb. Now he's being shy, which leads us into our very first question. And the very first question comes from Betty Morgan. Hi, Betty. How you doing? You'll notice some tortoises are walking around. Some tortoises got their heads tucked in. Other tortoises are cruising about, you know. And tortoises, much like people and all reptiles and animals, have different, for lack of better word, personalities, if you will. And these little guys are going to be shyer. Some are going to be more gregarious. Some are going to be energetic. Others are going to be kind of chilling out, not doing too much, like these guys, for example. But Betty asks this. My baby sulcata tortoise is afraid of me. I soak him daily, feed him hay and healthy foods, but he has peed on me several times and hides if he sees me. How do I go about taming him? All right, Betty. Well, it depends on what you're doing. Like, if you're picking a tortoise up, you probably don't want to do that, because when you're picking up a tortoise, these are animals that are kind of made to live on the ground and not get too high, unless you're, of course, this guy right here, who's a little bit of a adventurer. He's kind of like a mountain tortoise. Get it? Mountain climbing tortoise, that is. But Betty, what you want to do is you really don't want to be picking up tortoises too much, because they're really not comfortable being in the air. And that's why they're urinating on you. That's my guess anyway. I'm thinking that you're picking it up. So what I would do is I would continue to feed the baby tortoise, continue to give him hay, give him soaks, minimize the amount you lift him up very high off the ground. Or if you do, what you can do is cup your hand around his eyes so that he doesn't realize that he's going too high up in the air when you bring him over to the soaking dish. I like to use these shallow soaking dishes right here. These come from Zoomed. These are very good because they have a low profile. They hold a little bit of water. The tortoises can move in and out of them very easily. Right now, these two guys are soaking up the sun, that is. And basically, I just let the tortoises do their thing. It's about building trust. I've said it before with lizards. This is not something that happens overnight. And good thing is, with a tortoise, you're going to have about 100 years to get things dialed in. So that's nice. So hopefully, Betty, you've got patience, because these little guys definitely require a lot of that. So what I would say is continue to feed them. Don't pick them up so much. Just start feeding them by hand on the ground, and basically what will then happen is you're going to build trust. The animal knows that you're not going to do anything it doesn't like, and eventually they will become adults. And the adult tortoises are, even still, they can pull their heads in when they see me, but once I have food, they really know that I'm the guy that brings it to them. So, you know, they start to learn and start to appreciate you. That being said, I really don't pick up my tortoises. There are a lot of people that want to treat these animals like a dog or a cat, and that is just not the way to go. It's just, in my opinion, okay, everyone's different and every tortoise is different. So in my experience, I like to keep my animals as natural as possible. It's the most fun for me, because you got to remember, these animals tolerate us. It's not that they're tame, it's that they tolerate us. And by tolerating us, it allows us to peek in and see what they're up to. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that. You know, if you want to dress your tortoise up in a sweater and put a leash on it and all that stuff, probably not the pet for you. Okay, these animals require specific care, and they're always going to be designed to do what they do. Take in point these guys. The redfoot tortoises are extremely, what I would call, used to me. So watch this. I'm going to grab a little of this Missouri tortoise diet right here, and I'm just going to walk into their enclosure, and I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some out, okay? And you'll see all over, in many videos we've shown this, these guys just go to town on it. So I'm not trying to pick them up. I'm not trying to do anything that would upset them. I want them to behave in a natural way. So Betty, with your little one, do what you have to do as far as soaking it and doing things like that. But you know, about the best you can do as far as taming a tortoise is getting it to eat out of your hands. So watch this. Come on, come on. See, not even interested. What a bummer. How about this guy right here? Maybe he'll eat out of my hands. Hey dude, you got anything for me? See, and again, they're gonna sniff, 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 and then eventually bite it all up. Very good, that's 2 males right there. Here comes another guy right here. Hey buddy, do you want this? See, that to me is about as tame as you're gonna get. Now I know we're talking about sulcata tortoises, so let's look at Hercules. Hey Hercs, what you doing buddy? So as the tortoise grows, much like the lizards, they come into their own and they get more and more secure, and they've had many years to spend seeing you, or in this case, when I got Hercules, I gotta be careful here. Whoa, good job, wow. That was like chucking it in his mouth. Oh boy, I don't wanna get bit by Hercules. See these 2 things right there on his beak? Those are called cusps. And those cusps could be pretty painful. Let's see if we can do a flat thing. Oh, there we go. Much like when you're feeding a pony or a horse, or a camel for that matter. Flat palm, flat palm. Come on, bud. Come on, bud. Come on, bud. It's right there. It's right there. Oh, boy. Oh, geez Louise. Oh, geez Louise. I'm going to get it, aren't I? You're going to see me get a finger removed. How about we do this? I like to feed them on the leaves. Come here, Hercs. Hercs. Over here, buddy. We're doing a video, man, and you're really making it difficult for me, Herky. All right, Herky, jerky. Down, down. That's my finger. See, that's my finger. Here, let's feed him out of this thing. So hopefully he'll sniffer. He gets his sniffer on, and sometimes they get fixated on your hands. Come on, Hercules, that's my finger. Oh, no. No, no, we don't want that. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it down there, and hopefully he'll see it. You got to stay still. They're not the brightest bulbs in the outlet, I suppose, in the fixture. Does that even a saying? I don't even know. I'm rambling. I want to get back to information. Basically, just try and offer the animal food out of your hand when it's on the ground. Just in case you're worried, he did find his food. He's eating it. I don't want anyone to be like, dude, he didn't get his food. And then the whole comet thing goes, and it's just going to be annoying. But anyway, I like when I ramble sometimes. Feeling very good about this morning. It's a beautiful day. And we're rambling away watching these tortoises eat. So basically, guys, to answer the question, Betty, more succinctly, you don't want to minimize the handling, okay? Every time you do handle him, why don't you give him a treat? Put him back in his enclosure, give him a treat. And one of his favorite foods could be a special strawberry surprise, maybe some cactus, something that's just like a bit of candy for that guy. Whatever you see he likes to eat the most, whatever he relishes. And in that case, you know, you start to build, you build a repetition, you build something that he becomes used to, or she. As we know, turtles and tortoises are creatures of habit. They don't really like change too much. They kind of occupy an area in their environment. They know where the water sources are, they know where the food is, and they kind of stay in those home ranges. And they really have great memory. And so if you reinforce that memory with a positive experience, I guarantee you in a few months, that animal is going to start coming out of its shell. See what I did there? And it's going to be more gregarious. So repetition, consistency, doing things the animal likes that fit into the animal's natural behavior. So don't lift it up too much. Don't treat it like a dog or a cat. Don't snuggle it. It doesn't really want to snuggle. But once they get used to you, like Hercules here, if you sat down in the enclosure, he might climb up onto you and eat out of your hands. That's about as cuddly as a tortoise is going to get. So there you have it. And I'm also going to answer one quick question, because it's a question that came up before, and we've done a video on it, but I'm going to answer it again because Alicia N. wanted to know, my tortoise produces white paste in his urine and sometimes feces. I know these are urates, but I'm not sure what it means for his diet. Am I doing something wrong? Can you speak more about tortoise poop and pee relating to health? All right, we're going to do this real quick. A couple weeks ago, we also did it. I went in the Galapagos tortoise enclosure, and I was showing you guys some of the poops. Number one, tortoise poop, it wants to be firm, yet a moist outside so that it passes through the digestive tract easily. Okay, so a nice firm poop. If you have loose stools, it means you're feeding them something that is too high in fruit content or water content, and they've got diarrhea. It also could mean they have a parasite. Okay, so feces is extremely important for people to look at when dealing with your turtles and tortoises. You know, when I have a tortoise that's not acting right, the first thing we do is we get a fecal sample and I look at it under the microscope. Yes, I have a microscope. I look at the tortoise poop under the microscope. Sometimes you can see worms or other kinds of parasites in the poop. You have to do that with fresh poop. I'm going to see if I can find fresh poop and answer this question. Like I said, we've done this before, so I'm going to button this video with a little more reinforcement on this topic for Alicia. Betty, I hope you got something out of this video. Thanks for being a Patreon supporter to both of you. If you guys want to continue to learn about turtles, tortoises, and other reptiles, go to patreon.com/Kamp Kenan, where you guys can help me out. And you'll also get content that you will not find anyplace else. So that's a really cool way to stay involved, help out the channel, and keep us making videos. All right, so usually I can find a good poop here. I'm not going to find a fresh one because that's kind of like a needle in a haystack when you're looking at 2.5 acres. Yeah, that's not a fresh one. I'm going to sneeze. Okay, anyway, here's some poop. Here, look at that. All right, so we got some poop. This is fairly fresh. You can see that the poop is actually, it's got some ants on it, but the poop is still a little moist, so this is a fresher one. Okay, but look at this, it's firm. Okay, it's held together nicely. It's been squashed because the tortoise walked on it, but it's got all the leaves in it. It's got all the grasses in it. So basically that's what poop should look like. Now the white stuff are urates. When urates come out like a toothpaste consistency, hey Nostradamus, when the urates come out like a toothpaste consistency, that's good. That means the animal's well hydrated. It means that it's able to pass the urates. If you start to see urates, the white stuff, come out more powdery, then you got to start making sure there's more water in this animal's diet. Feed it watermelon. Great way to introduce water into their system. They'll be able to absorb it. 90% of watermelon is actually water. So that's a great way to get them involved. Okay, or get them hydrated if you don't see them drinking. It's also red, so that red color really attracts them. They really love to do that and eat red foods. So that's one way to do it. So it's about finding the balance. Again, you have to know the type of diet your tortoise eats. These are Galapagos, and there's my Aldabra, and there's Darwin, a Galapagos tortoise. So what these tortoises eat are mostly leaves and browse and flowers and grasses and cactus. Okay, they're not going to be eating tons and tons of fruit. It doesn't mean they can't every once in a while, but they are not. Wait, what are you going to do? Eat the camera? Are you going to say hello to everyone? What are you doing? Ooh,
Phone home, Elliot.
that always reminds me of ET, doesn't it?
Phone home, go home, Elliot,
Whatever. Anyway, open up. Show yeah, very good mouth in this tortoise. Also, you can see some health by a nice healthy tongue there too. Nice pink tongue is what you want to look for. Anyway, what was I saying, guys? Can you remind me, Darwin? Can you tell me what I was talking about? Diet. That's right. So in the case of these guys and other grassland species or browsers like your sulcatas and leopard tortoises, you want to feed them the proper diet because that's what their digestive systems have been adapted to. And, you know, they'll extract as much nutrients as they can out of such a low nutrient-rich food. They're also getting enough moisture out of it. Always supply fresh water. If you want to hydrate them, no problem. Give them a little watermelon once a week, and that's a great way to introduce some water in there, preformed water, because they're taking it out of the fruit, out of that watermelon. Also, guys, you know, as far as the urates, just keep that consistency in mind. Toothpaste consistency, not a problem. Powdery, up the water intake, and then keep an eye on them because you don't want them to get an impaction in their kidneys where the urate crystals solidify and cause renal failure. That has happened before with tortoises because they think, oh, it's a desert tortoise, it doesn't need to drink. Not true. All right, everyone, there you go. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe. Did you get something out of it? Have you learned? That's what I care about. All right, did we learn today? Thanks to Alicia and Betty for your questions. There are more questions to get to. We'll be getting to them for you in the weeks and years and months and decades and eons, hopefully, to follow. All right, everybody. I'm going to play you out with a couple of little baby tortoises. Like and subscribe. See you soon.